everyone and welcome back. If you are new here, then hello, my name is Zoe and this is my YouTube channel. Today's makeup tutorial is going to be my most requested makeup from clients. So I'm going to recreate what I get asked to do most on my clients. I'm going to start with using the NYX Marshmallow Primer just because I haven't got much moisturiser on my face at the moment, and this for me kind of acts as a bit of a moisturiser as well as a primer. It's nice and refreshing for your skin. So I'm going straight in and priming the eyes. This is just the Tarte Shape Tape because I've run out of my P. Louise base, which I would have used, but I don't have it at the moment. So I'm just using this. This eye makeup I get asked to create all the time. Sometimes we switch up the colours a little bit depending on what anybody's wearing. Okay, so my eyes are well primed. We're going to move on to eyeshadows now. So I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance. I think this has to be one of my all-time favourite palettes ever. And I'm going to start with Raw Sienna as my transition shade. This eye look is a little bit more rounded. Usually I like to wing it out, but a lot of my clients do like the more rounded look. You can honestly switch it up to whatever you prefer, but because I don't do rounded makeup looks on myself very often, I really wanted to recreate it in the style that I usually do it on clients. So this I'm taking just straight through the socket, and then I'm just tapering it out on the inner and outer corners. So usually I like to really buff my eyeshadow out in the outer corners and make it nice and winged out. This time I'm not doing that. I'm keeping it mainly in the middle and then buffing it out each side. So we're already starting to create that lighter centre in the middle. Next I'm going to try and deepen it up slightly with a little bit of warm taupe. So with this I'm kind of doing the exact same thing but not blending it out as far. So when you're doing a makeup look like this, try the darker shadows that you go, try not to blend out as far, and that will give you the most smokier effect. This makeup isn't supposed to look super dark and smoky because it is more of a soft glam, but again you want it to look as blended as possible. Okay, then onto the darkest one that we're going to be using. We're going to go with Cypress Umber, which is the very darkest one there. I'm taking a smaller brush this time because again we're going darker, so I don't want to blend it out as far. I'm going to stick mainly to the inner and outer corners first, and then just go a little bit into the socket. I think that's about enough. Okay, so now we've sort of got that halo effect in the centre. I'm going to make that a little bit more prominent. So I'm just taking that concealer brush that we've just used to put the eyeshadow base on. I'm just going to pop a tiny bit of concealer just in the centre, just to make that nice and bright again. Okay, so over that I'm going to apply some of Primavera, which is a nice gold shade. If I'm doing a different colour, this is where I kind of switch it up. So I tend to keep the transition colours pretty similar, and then I'll switch it up with maybe silver in the centre or rose gold in the centre, depending on what anybody's wearing. And my favourite part, we're going to add a pigment over the top. So this is the Peaches and Cream Wish pigment, which is one of my favourites. It's what I use most on my clients. If we're going for something a bit more gold, I always use Wish or Gatsby. That one is really nice as well. I've got loads of these that I use on clients. I just feel like a bit of extra pigment does add that little bit extra pop to your makeup. I'm going to apply it with some NYX Glitter Glue. So this goes on first. You only need a really small amount because the pigments are so fine. But if you did apply them with nothing underneath, you do have that chance fall out during the night or during the day, wherever you are going. Okay, then picking up the pigment, again popping it in the centre and then tapering it out each side. And just look how much more sparkly that side looks. These just make such a massive difference. I'm happy with that for now. I'm going to just quickly apply some lashes next. So these are the ones that I've chosen. I don't even know whether they're coming off. These are my perfect soft glam lash. They're not too heavy and they're not too light, but they are longer in the middle rather than longer on the outer corner, so they're gonna help with the whole rounded effect rather than winging the eyeshadow out. So I'm gonna apply these off camera because it always takes me so long to apply lashes, so I will be back in literally not even a second. Okay, so the lashes are on. While they dry off, we're going to start a little bit on the skin. So with this kind of look, a lot of my clients like a nice full coverage base, but without it looking too heavy or feeling like too heavy on the skin. So I'm going to show you a few tricks of what I do to achieve that. I'm going to use the Illamasqua Skin Base today. I use this all the time on my clients, but I never use it on myself that much. So I'm going to use this on myself today, and I'm going to show you how I like build it up really nicely. So I'm using shade 6. I'm hoping this is going to be okay for me. We'll see. I think it should be fine. So a lot of my clients are obviously like going to events because they're coming to have the makeup done for something. So they're either going to events, it's got to last like all day and all night, or they like nice full coverage, but they don't always like it to feel like really heavy on the skin. So the key to that really is layering your product rather than trying to pile on a load of foundation and hoping for the best and just trying to get as much coverage out of it as you can. Because we're pushing each layer in, it's going to last a lot longer. It's not just going to sit on top of the skin. I absolutely love this foundation as well. I don't know why I don't use it more on myself. We definitely need to bronze up a little bit eventually, but I am a bit more on the fair side at the moment. I've got no fake tan on. Okay, we're going to do concealer next. This is Fair Light Neutral. I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape. I'm hoping that this does counteract my dark under eyes a little bit. Again, I'm going to keep it sort of central, so you don't want to like wing out the eyeshadow or anything. I'm going to mainly keep it under my eyes. Sometimes I just do like one layer, and then I do sort of bring it down in a triangle and just kind of taper it out to the edge. So I'm going to use my Made by Mitchell liquid blush. This one is in the shade Creme Carve. For this, I'm going to apply it more as like a bronzer rather than a contour really. Just want to add a little bit more warmth back into the skin. I am a little bit more fair, so I can't go too OTT with the bronzer, but this one should be absolutely fine. So we're just with really, really light motion because I don't want to start moving all of that foundation underneath. I want that to stay where it is, so I'm using literally just like the tip of the brush. And for setting powder, I'm going to use my all-time favourite, which is Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is also in my Pro Kit as well. I use this on every single one of my clients. I absolutely love it. So I always start with my under eyes because they are the areas that I always find end up creasing first on anybody. And I like it as well because you can kind of control how much you're setting the skin. So like on clients which are a bit more dry, I can go a bit lighter, but clients which are a bit more oily, I can set a bit more strongly. For bronzer, I'm going to use two different ones today. I'm going to be a bit bougie. I'm going to start with the Urban Decay Beach Bronzer. And this is just a nice neutral shade for my skin at the moment because I have got no tan on. And then because I haven't set these areas a lot with the translucent powder, I pat rather than swipe around because I don't want to move anything underneath. And then I'm going to go over with a little bit of this one. This is the Milani Baked Bronzer. I'm not sure what shade it is, but I'll leave it down in the description. I'll leave everything down in there that I've used. This one has more of like an luminous finish to it. So this is just going to add a little bit more glow into my makeup because I prefer mine to be a little bit more glowy. I'm going to do a little bit of blush. This is Illamasqua's Blusher in Lover. This is just a nice like peachy pink shade. So just on the apples of my cheeks, and then I work mine back into my bronzer as well. So for under eyes, I'm going to keep it more of like a soft glam, not too smoky. So I usually go in with maybe like a bronzer under the eye, or I'm just going to use Raw Sienna again, which was the first shade that we used. And I'm going to take this all underneath, and don't be afraid of blending this down like further than you maybe usually would. I'm going to go in with Cypress Umber again, and I try and keep this as close to my lash line as I can. So my clients at the moment are loving like a nude lip and with the gloss on the top. I feel like gloss is definitely coming back into fashion rather than like a matte liquid lip. So I'm going to start with Spice Lip Liner from MAC. Okay, then for lipstick, I've got this one from KVD Beauty. It's the shade 110 in She Defined. So I'm just going to apply this mainly to the centre. And then I'm just going to pop a clear gloss on the top. I really like the peaches and cream glosses, the nude ones are amazing. So this is the makeup look that my clients are asking for at the moment. It's super glam, but I still call it soft glam because it's not necessarily like super heavy on the eyes or anything, but it still does look nice and glammed up. It's a little bit more makeup than usual, but it's not like hard to achieve. I definitely think you guys can do it from home, so let me know if you try it out down in the comments. And it's just one of those makeup looks that's going to look nice on everybody as well. It'll suit any eye shape, and you can just switch up like the pigment on the eyes to like suit whatever you're wearing. So that completes my recreation of what my clients are asking for at the moment. So I really hope you did enjoy it. Let me know if you did down in the comments. Please give it a big thumbs up as well. Don't forget to subscribe too, and I will see you next week in my next one. Bye!